So you're thinking about moving to one of Chandler's most desired and one of the best planned communities in the entire East Valley. And honestly, I'm going to put it in Phoenix as well. And this is going to be Ocotillo. So in this video today, we'll start out just telling you a little bit about the neighborhood. You know, what are some of the things to do? Next, we'll show you on a map exactly where Ocotillo is. You know, how far is it from downtown, Cardinal Stadium, to the airport, all of that stuff, so that you know exactly where it is. And then finally, I'll show you through 3 different neighborhoods. And the nice thing with Ocotillo is that there's, you know, multiple price points. So I'll show you 3 different neighborhoods and we'll pop into those at the end. So stay tuned because you're gonna miss out on what the final neighborhood looks like here in Ocotillo. So without further ado, let's get started right now. Now, as I mentioned at the start, so, you know, Chandler itself is very, very, very sought after if you're thinking about moving to the Phoenix area. But Ocotillo itself, this is a little master plan community here in the southwest part, there we go, of Chandler. So it is extremely desirable, you know. And why is that? First of all, as you guys will see, and again, make sure you stay tuned all the way to the end because these neighborhoods are going to look very different than what you think they will. Ocotillo, a lot of my friends, they joke and they call it Aguatillo, and that is because there's canals everywhere, there's little pools of water everywhere, there's fountains everywhere, and it's very, very green. It's a little brown right now, it's kind of the winter time, so it's not particularly green where I'm standing right now, but the whole neighborhood itself, like a lot of houses have grass, a lot of neighborhoods have tall trees. And again, I moved here from Nebraska. If you're brand new to this channel, I moved here from Nebraska. And so when I was moving to Phoenix, I want to see areas where it's green, there's trees, it's very lush. Ocotillo is absolutely going to hit that if you're thinking about moving here to the area. Now, what are some other things to do? So right now, where we're filming right now is Snedeker Sports Park. They have a huge playground. They have soccer fields everywhere. They have baseball fields everywhere. So if you have a dog, or if you have, young kids, or if you just want to go play some baseball or soccer, this is going to be a really good area because it's right in the heart of Ocotillo. Now, some other things that is really nice about Ocotillo, they have their own pickleball court. So I'm sure where you're living, pickleball is blown up. And if you play pickleball, make sure you comment down below. I absolutely love it myself. So if you play, make sure you comment down below. But they got their own pickleball courts. So it's a very, very active, it's a very, very vibrant community. Every time that I'm here showing houses or filming, there's always people walking around on their bikes, waving to their neighbors. It's a really, really cool community. Now, some other things to do here in the Ocotillo area is they have really good shopping, and they have really, really good restaurants. Stone and Vine is an Italian place. It's right on some water. It is really, really good. They got I think they do wood fired or stone fired. I can't exactly remember, but it's a really, really cool spot. You definitely got to check it out. But that is one of the really cool areas about Ocotillo. You know, within this 2 to 3 mile radius, they have all of your daily shopping needs covered. Now, if you need to go up to Costco or like Sam's Club, that's only about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on where you're at in Ocotillo, so it's very, very close. You know, where we used to live in the Gilbert area, we would have to drive, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to get to the big shopping, to get to Costco, to get to Home Depot, any stuff like that. In Ocotillo, it literally has everything. And that's why it'll be really helpful if you stay tuned for a little bit longer. We'll hop on a map and show you exactly where everything is. That way you know exactly where to live. Now, some other things to do here in the Ocotillo area is they have 27 holes of golf. Now, this is, again, they call it Aguatillo. I think there's water on every single hole, if I'm not mistaken. So a ton of water. It's very, very different than other areas of the Phoenix area, especially if you love to golf. I love to golf. That's the entire reason why I moved down here, is to be able to play 12 months a year. Ocotillo is not one of my favorite courses. It's nice, but it's definitely overpriced, especially in the wintertime. So if you love to play golf every day, you'll see Ocotillo, and it's an amazing spot. But just know, like in the wintertime, it's going to be, I haven't checked recently, but I think it's around $150 to $200 every single round that you play. I'm sure they have a card that you can save money on, but for me, I don't think it's personally worth it. I think there's better courses, especially here in the wintertime. Again, if you're a golfer, comment down below and I'll message you all the best courses here in the Phoenix Valley, especially in the winter. So if you are a golfer, they have that option. However, like Bear Creek, that's closer, that's a little bit better course. And then San Marcos is up near the downtown area. Those are better courses as well. So there's a lot to do here in the Ocotillo neighborhood. To be honest, a lot of what you'll see here, just when I was filming today, you see a ton of, famous younger people, and then you see, some older people, some retirees, as you'll see in the first stop of the neighborhood that we go into. So you really get a diverse living style here in Ocotillo. Now, without further ado, let's show you on a map of where everything is located. Then we'll get you out into our first neighborhood, and that way you can get a general idea on, hey, Eric, I love Ocotillo. I think this is going to be the spot for me. What do neighborhoods look like? So stay tuned to the very end, and we will walk through, small, medium, and large for what homes get you here in Ocotillo. So stay tuned and we'll show you on a map of where everything is located right now. See, it's down here in the southern part of Chandler. So Chandler's kind of split in between this 202 and it goes a little bit further east here over to that Saguaro Canyon area. But as we zoom in, look how much water. So this makes more sense why it's called Ocotillo, right? So everything that you need in Ocotillo is down here. You have, if you zoom in a little bit further, you have a grocery store and kind of small little shopping area down here on the southern side of the Ocotillo area. It's not really loading right now, but you have Safeway. There we go. You have Safeway and then a couple other little restaurants here as well. So you do have the Snedeker Park. This is where we started the video, and this is where we'll get you back out into here in a little bit. But as you can see, if we go into the satellite view, you can just see that there's a ton of different fields, and this is about where we were filming over here. So this is a nice and covered playground area and just a really, really nice park. I'm telling you, Ocotillo has everything that you need located within this neighborhood and greater subdivision here in the area. So, you know, once we zoom out a little bit more, so this Balboa Way, this is going to be in the actual Ocotillo area. This is going to be some of your most expensive real estate here in the area. Fox Crossing, you can get, we're actually closing here on a 5-bedroom house tomorrow, and it's about 2,500 square feet, so pretty good value, and that's in the high 6s for right now. But you can still find homes in the low 6s, high 5s here in the Fox Crossing area. So, you know, just other parts of Ocotillo that are really nice. Like I said, you do have 27 holes out here on Ocotillo Golf Club. Not one of the best values in the Phoenix Metro, but it is still really good value. You know, it's a good course. Summer's definitely a better price, but in the winter it gets a little expensive and not really worth it. So if you are, you know, a golfer, the nice thing is that you have Bear Creek here. This is a city-owned course by Chandler. It's actually in really, really good shape, and definitely try to play here as often as I can. So Bear Creek is a really, really nice area. But like I said, you have everything you kind of need here in the Ocotillo area. So even just 1 mile east, you know, as you can see, there's a ton of fast food over here and a ton of restaurants. You have Lowe's, you have Home Depot, you have Target, Trader Joe's. And then if we get Chick-fil-A, I know a ton of high school kids go there after Hamilton High School gets out. So if you're going there around 3:30, it's going to be crazy. So just know that this parking lot, you have all kinds of different amenities here, different stores in this shopping mall. But then if you go a little bit further up north, you have a really, really good restaurant here, Stone and Vine, really good date night spot. And it's located right on the water. It's an Italian place. It's really, really good. So again, you have Albertsons up here, you have Aldi, you have Home Goods, you have all of these stores. This is all within the Ocotillo area. So now, Eric, once we zoom out, what else does Ocotillo get you? So up here in the Chandler Fashion Square, this is only going to be about 10 to 15 minutes from, depending on which part of Ocotillo you're living in. But you have a, you know, full-on, this fashion center is a full-on mall inside and everything. Traditional mall, this is what you're going to get here in the fashion center. But there's a ton of stores around this area as well. You have Costco. There's a bunch of different stores. This is actually the Costco that my wife and I go to. So as you can see, you know, there's Walmart, there's TJ Maxx, there's everything here in this Chandler Fashion Square. And again, you're only about 10 minutes north of the Ocotillo area. You're also super close to downtown Chandler, which go check out our downtown Chandler video. We go a little bit deeper dive on exactly what it's like to live around here. But you also have access to San Marcos Golf Course. And once we zoom in here, this is just all going to be restaurants in this downtown Chandler area. So a lot of jobs in the Chandler area are actually kind of centered around this Intel area, and this is just going to be in your backyard if you work at Intel. So if you are thinking about, you know, if you're relocating and working in the Intel, the Ocotillo area is going to be an amazing spot for you. Now, if you travel to like the airport a lot, or you travel to downtown Phoenix, you are only about a 25. Now this is, you know, this is about 4:30 right now when we're recording, so you are going to be in a little bit more traffic. But again, you're only 25 minutes away from the Phoenix airport and about 30 minutes all the way into downtown. One of the best things about Ocotillo, though, is that you have 2 ways in and out. So you have really 3 ways, I guess, now that I think about it out loud. So you have the 101, you know, this is this main highway that gets all the way up into Scottsdale, but then you can hop on that and take the 202 in. You can take the 202 and then you could go over to I-10. This is another Interstate 10. This is a major highway that goes up into the downtown area. Or you have this area that you can go kind of through the reservation and then hit I-10 all the way up. So a couple different areas to get out of Ocotillo, and that is one of the things that is really nice, is that you're located right off of the 101, as well as right off of I-10. So some other things to do, you know, if you're an outdoor enthusiast, you have South Mountain here. This is going to be about maybe 20 minutes, depending again on how far into Ocotillo you're at. But you got 20 minutes over to the South Mountain area. You can, you know, go trail running, hiking, biking, desert biking. There we go. Mountain biking. There we go. But it's really nice. You have, in terms of other shopping, you have the outlet malls out here on the west side. So again, that's only going to be about 10 to 15 minutes depending on what part. And then you also have a casino nearby as well. So as the big theme for Ocotillo, guys, is that you have everything that you need down here. You have all your grocery stores, Lowe's, Target, all your main day-to-day shopping is all going to be about within 10 to 15 minutes of Ocotillo. So without further ado, let's get you out into our first neighborhood and give you a rundown of kind of the low end of what your budget will get you in Ocotillo. So now that you have a general idea on, you know, where Ocotillo is in the relationship to all of Phoenix, but specifically in Chandler, this is going to be our first stop. Now, on this tour, again, as I mentioned at the start of the video, we'll go small, medium, and large for what your budget gets you here in Ocotillo. And so right now we are in the Bridges of Ocotillo. So this is just like a little condo community town complex. There we go. But one of my favorite things is that, like, just all the waterways that you get throughout this community. Not only that, you have a ton of, you know, little walking trails, and, you know, there's green grass everywhere. So you really get to feel, you know, it goes right in line with what we talked about earlier in the video about Ocotillo. It's just so green. There's literally water everywhere. Like we joked earlier, Ocotillo, right? But one really nice thing about this particular community is that it's very, very, very friendly. So, you know, if you go stop by the pool right now, there's 5 or 6 people just hanging out, enjoying their bed life. There's a huge dog, you know, community here that if you have dogs, you know, everybody waves to each other, and it's really, really an amazing, amazing community. And one of the best things about this community too is that you can get in for the lower end of your budget. So, you know, if you really want to live in Ocotillo and your budget is only, you know, $400,000, you can find a, you know, 2-bed, 2-bath. It's about 1,400 square feet. So, you know, you're not going to find a 3 or 4 bedroom house here. But again, if you really want to be in this community and that is your budget, that is the nice thing about living here in the Bridges and in Ocotillo, is that there's a budget for everybody. Again, like, go watch our what does $400,000 get you here in the Chandler, Arizona area. We take a deeper dive into the particular unit. But again, just know that at the time of this recording that you can get into a property, you know, in the high 3s, low 4s here in the Bridges. So it's a really, really good starter place if you're just looking to, you know, start and buy a home. Or honestly, there's a ton of snowbirds that live here too. So if you are wanting to be in an area, you know, where you have very, very low maintenance and you want to be around other snowbirds, this is going to be an amazing first stop for you. So honestly, that about wraps it up, you know, for this particular community. Again, they have, you know, a swimming pool, they have the canal area. So it's really, really cool just to walk around here. Now, in terms of, you know, taxes or HOA, they are going to be, the HOAs are a little bit higher than some of the other communities. There's a lot more maintenance here. So the HOAs, you know, you're going to run in, you know, the high 3s, low 4s, depending on kind of your particular unit. But the good thing is that the taxes are going to be really low. They're only going to be about $700. That is for the entire year, guys. So, you know, again, it's a really, really good spot to live in, especially if you're just starting out on your home buying journey, or if you are thinking about, you know, buying a second home and, you know, just snowbirding down here to the Ocotillo area. That is our first stop. Let's go over to our next stop, Fox Crossing. This is going to be your more traditional single-family home neighborhood in the mid 6s to low 8s. So let's go check out Fox Crossing next. All right, so we are at our second stop about, you know, what does Ocotillo look like? What do some of the neighborhoods look like? So in this particular area, so again, remember, Ocotillo is just like a general master plan community, and then within that you have like these little pockets, right? So like the Bridges where we just were, and then this is Fox Crossing, and then within Fox Crossing, this is even like a smaller development. So it's like a mini development within Ocotillo. Here, I gotta switch with the sun. But so one of the nice things about this particular neighborhood is it seems really strange, but I love how wide these streets are. Like it sounds crazy, but like when you're just driving around here and you're just walking, it like completely changes how the neighborhood feels. But you know, just in general about what you can get in this particular neighborhood is I love how big the lots are. I mean, just like look behind me. Now this is kind of like a little cul-de-sac, but the lots are a little bit bigger, you know, than other areas of Chandler. and they just feel very, very grand and very big. So homes typically in this neighborhood, they go from, the low sixes to all the way, I mean, you could get multi-million dollars on if you're on the canals, but for the most part, most of the houses in this particular area, you're gonna be in your 600 to 800 area. But again, one of the best things about this particular area in Fox Crossing is there is a park not too far away, and you're also like right next to Hamilton High School. Hamilton is a huge public high school down here in the Chandler area, so if you have kids that go there, not kidding, it's literally like a 3-minute drive just right around the corner. But again, just I love how big these homes are. They're just very, very spread out, very, very grand. But just the overall neighborhood feel of Fox Crossing, spectacular. You have, the little canals everywhere. You have, everybody keeps their home in such good condition. I love, just like even when you're looking down the street, right? Just all like the trees, the palm trees, and the green grass. I moved here again from Nebraska, and anytime that I can see that green grass and some trees, really, really makes a big difference for me. So one final thing about the Fox Crossing neighborhood is that a lot of these houses, they don't look like other homes in the, Chandler Gilbert area. They kind of have like their own little character. Yes, they still have, that desert and adobe style, but if you go into some neighborhoods, like the brand new neighborhoods in Chandler or the brand new neighborhoods in Gilbert, they literally all look the exact same. And that is really one of the best things that this neighborhood did when they built it, is just how different this particular, just how different the homes look. It's an amazing neighborhood. If you have the means, I highly, highly recommend that you look into this Fox Crossing neighborhood within Ocotillo. It's absolutely amazing. Everybody keeps their home in such good condition. The HOAs are super low. They're only about 70 bucks a month, and you get the community pool and all the community maintenance. So it's an amazing neighborhood, and I'm really glad that I was able to show you guys this neighborhood because it is just so cool. Now, if before we get to our final house, if you like this video, make sure you click the like button and comment down below. I want to know your thoughts about our stop number 1 and 2, and then stay tuned because as we've been mentioning kind of throughout the video, you're not going to want to miss the final neighborhood that we'll pop into here in Ocotillo in Balboa Way. Now, again, guys, if you're thinking about making a move, guys, pause the video. Our contact information is down below. We moved here from Nebraska. We were tired of the cold snow, and we absolutely love it here in Arizona. So I want to help you make your move down here to the Phoenix, Arizona area. So again, if you're thinking about making a move, pause the video, guys, jot our contact information down below, and reach out. We absolutely love hearing from you and hearing how we can help. So without further ado, let's pop into our final neighborhood next. All right, so we are in our last stop here in the Ocotillo neighborhood, and this is definitely on the higher end. So, most of these homes around here, these are going to be, 3,500 feet minimum. But again, like same thing with Fox Crossing area. The Ocotillo neighborhood, when they were master planning, they did such a good job of envisioning what the future of this neighborhood will look like, because like just look at this house right behind me. It's absolutely beautiful. And one really cool thing that they did with this neighborhood too, like it's grass everywhere. So again, like I moved from Nebraska, right? So when I told people that I was moving to Phoenix, they're like, oh my gosh, there's no green, there's no water anywhere. Ocotillo, I hope, as you guys have seen throughout this video, is literally the complete opposite. Like there's green everywhere, there's tall trees, there's grass. It's just an absolutely amazing, amazing community. One thing to note, that if you are thinking, if this is the budget that you were in, right? One of the best parts about being in Chandler or Gilbert versus like if up in like the Scottsdale area is that your home here is going to go a lot further in terms of budget. So again, like this house behind me is probably, 3,500 to 4,000 square feet. If this exact same home was up in like the Scottsdale area, this would be $2.5 to $3 million. So your budget goes so far down here in Chandler. And honestly, that is one of the best parts about being here in the Balboa area is, you can get a really, really nice, really, really big house, and you can get a really affordable rate as well. Now, taxes, they are going to be a little bit higher, not quite as high as up in the Scottsdale area. HOAs are a little bit higher too. So between the two, you're looking at, taxes around like $6,500 for the entire year. Now, again, in other areas of the country, so my brother and I, we own a house in Nebraska, and we just have a little 1,500 square foot house, and we pay $3,800 a year in taxes. So really, really cheap taxes down here in the Chandler area. And HOAs, they are a little bit higher in this particular community because you're paying both Ocotillo, area, and then Balboa as well. They're about $200 every single month. So again, just something to take note of. But again, if you are, looking on the higher end, I cannot recommend the Ocotillo neighborhood enough. It is so quiet. Just, driving around and filming, and whenever we take clients in this neighborhood, there's always people out walking around. There's always people, everybody that I saw today and in the past, everybody waves to each other. So it's a really, really cool community feel. And then not to mention, you know, just how absolutely beautiful it is between the trees. Look at this, I'm in shade. Like, you just never would have thought that this would be here in Chandler or in Arizona. So between the tall trees, the green, the large lots, and the location as we talked about earlier, Chandler is an amazing spot to live, and specifically Ocotillo. So if you are thinking about making a move, I cannot recommend the Ocotillo neighborhood enough. So guys, that wraps it up for this video. Thank you for watching. Check out the playlist that we have on Chandler, Arizona. So if you are thinking about making a move to Chandler, we cover everything, pros and cons, where to live, all of that good stuff, as well as these little neighborhood tours that we take you on as well. So again, guys, make sure you comment down below. And if you're thinking about making a move, guys, please reach out. We love hearing from you. Moving here from Nebraska changed my life, and I want to help you change yours. So if you're thinking about making a move, pause the video, reach out to us, and check out the other videos on our channel. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.